Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the game day edition of the Very Orange live stream. I am your erstwhile co-host, the super genius Wiley Otherwise, aka Dren Rollins. I am in the football bunker in the capital of the Orange Empire, Knoxville, Tennessee. On my left is my partner, young Brandon, who is ensconced in a secret location.
Oh shit! I'm behind
Hiding
the
from
lines.
competitors in his bookie.
Let's
And
give
we're
the
here.
people what they want
Oh
as
yes. Oh yes.
other people.
Check him out. We are here to give you a brief, hopefully no more than a half hour preview today as the Panthers of Pittsburgh roll into Rocky Top for a 12 p.m. kickoff. Most people who are in the know have this game as a 4-point spread in favor of Pitt. We'll see about that later.
Now that's the last time I checked. Our winning percentage for this game was at 45. Not loving that.
Well, we haven't exactly given them much to be faithful.
This is true. This is true.
So let's just be honest about it. So we have a matchup between Josh Heupel's first year at Tennessee and Pat Narduzzi, who's entering his 7th year as the head coach at Pitt. The last time those two coaches faced off, Pitt won a squeaker 30-29. So we will see exactly. So these two guys are not exactly unfamiliar with each other.
Yeah.
For UT, it's we got some kind of bad news. Tyon Evans is going to be out today. They did not disclose exactly what the injury is. He seemed okay against Bowling Green, so probably something happened in practice early in the week. They just haven't said. But I just want to say this: everything I've seen, everything is Tennessee's leading rusher out for game against Pitt. Okay, statistically, barely, Tyon might be the leading rusher. Okay, I had them both running for 116.
Well,
the only difference is Tyon ran for 116 on 16 carries. Jabari Small ran for 116 on 22 carries. So Tyon gets an edge on average yards per carry.
Small.
I mean, that much. They're different kinds of runners. I mean, Jabari Small is more of a bruiser.
Yeah,
so you got a little bit of a Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside feel. It's next man up. I think we're going to be okay.
Well, let's just if you knew absolutely jack shit about football, you would also realize
that's us.
We played one game. The leading rusher could be a damn punter if he fumbled a snap in certain situations. Let's just chill the fuck out. Pardon my language on this lovely Saturday. Behind enemy lines.
I mean, my main concerns are: did they spend time with Joe working on drag routes this week? Anything intermediate? We cannot try to spend all day standing in the backfield with the ball.
No, you do that against, for lack of a better term, a real football team. It ain't gonna be pretty.
Spot. It's real simple. He is going to get murderized out there if he holds on to the ball that long.
Yeah. I mean, it was laughable at that first game. Even though
he did his homework.
He can stand back there. You should treat these cupcake games as, well, a glorified practice and actually do, all right, 3-step drop, bam, 7-step drop, bam. Let's get that ball out there.
Well, we I mean, as far as like actually getting rid of the ball, we have no issue there. I mean, Joe's
Yeah.
got a cannon. There's no doubting Joe Milton probably has the best arm that we've seen in
Oh,
a
his arm is
very
great.
long.
Yeah. And
I mean,
props to him for wearing number 7.
the last time I remember anybody having an arm like that. Well, Casey could throw it. Casey could sling it.
Yeah.
Todd Helton. Todd Helton had a cannon.
Oh, hell yeah.
People forget who was the starting quarterback for Peyton Manning. Todd Helton.
Mr. Todd Helton.
Todd
Mr.
Helton,
Rockets
big number
himself.
2, big lefty.
Yeah, you don't get to make it to the majors without
Oh no,
for an arm.
no.
But so let's a few highlights from the first game, and then we'll get into the Johnny Majors Bowl as I have proclaimed it. I loved what we saw from the running game. I thought we did that well. I like that our quarterback's mobile, even though I'm not a particular fan of mobile quarterbacks. But if used correctly, it's lethal.
He kind of reminded me of the last quarterback we had to wear number 7 running a bit. That's not good. And that's not a compliment either.
Oh, no. But also he's got a little flash here and there of the Mac Daddy number 7, which would be the man that had dogs fighting in his yard.
Well, I had one moment during that game against Bowling Green. Third quarter, it's like 3rd and 8, and Joe is running the ball. And he's got one man to beat, and it's this little dinky defensive back for Bowling Green. And he tried to juke him. And I'm like, Joe, you got 4 inches and 50 pounds on this guy. Put your foot in the ground and just run him out and just run through him. I mean, I had a coach that would have gone out in the field and dragged him off by his face mask for not doing that.
To quote a great show that I just recently started watching again here, strike hard, strike fast, no mercy.
Yeah, exactly. Strike hard, no mercy. Yeah.
Get after it, son.
I liked our defense. I thought we, especially on the our rushing defense, only gave up 32 yards rushing. I mean, statistically, the defenses are for UT and Pitt are pretty well even. Pitt gave up 209 yards of total offense. We gave up 219 yards of offense. The big difference is we gave up more in the air than they did. But on the ground, our rush defense was better than theirs.
Well, the kid from Bowling Green had a little, his little moment of brilliance there, and he his credit. Yeah, wasn't a complete shit show on their end.
Well, when we didn't do exactly. He kind of helped there for a little while, especially the second quarter.
Yeah.
But statistically, overall, I mean, rushing, Pitt had 495 yards of total offense. We had 471, so 20 yards difference. That the real difference from there came to the air. They Joe only threw for 123 yards and a touchdown, and Kenny Pickett threw for 272 and 2 touchdowns. So, people say, "Well, we just think Pitt's a better ball team." I just don't. They're not sold on us, and we haven't given them any reason for them to buy. At least not yet.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about you want to talk about this being the Johnny Majors Bowl. Um, I mean, there was a quote, and I can't remember what player was asking. Said, Coach, why don't you want to stay here? This is back in '76 when Majors won the national championship, and he says, and Majors says, like I want to go home. I want to go home. That's
Yeah.
why he said, says I love you guys, but it's my alma mater. I want to go home. And and it turned out to be a pretty good 16 year run for him. Um,
Yeah.
back when people had the patience to give coaches time to build something, because it took a while. I mean, he didn't win an SEC title until '85, so it took
Right.
him 8 years. Yeah. Um, they announced earlier this week that Jackie Sherrill was going to be the honorary captain for Pitt. And I made the comment, "What's he going to do? Walk out in the midfield and castrate a bull?" I mean, I just I at once. I mean, Jackie Sherrill has just gone has basically gone scorched earth wherever he has coached. I
Yeah.
mean, he pissed people off when he left Pitt. When he left Pitt for A&M, he definitely pissed people off when he left A&M for Mississippi State.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at one point in the '90s, and I may have the time frame wrong, but there was one time there was a poll where they asked Division I college coaches, if your son, which coach would you least like to see him play for? And Jackie Sherrill was at the top of that list.
Number one with a bullet, baby.
I mean, so I mean, maybe Jackie quit drinking. Maybe he's working the steps. I don't know. He's trying to make amends.
Hell, I hope he
I
didn't
know
quit
I know he has
drinking.
no I know he has no love for Tennessee. I do. That is for certain.
Yeah.
Um, but I just I'm hoping that, I don't know if Tennessee's announced their um, honorary captain. I kind of hope it's Condredge so he can walk out there and slap the shit out of him. But it's just me.
I think.
Condredge is way too classy of a human being to do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
My
Oh
my
geez.
my, 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 luck,
This
my lucky mug that my kids bought me a few years ago.
that was breaking news to me. I did not know that Jackie Sherrill was going to be the
Yeah, they announced that like Tuesday, like
holy shit.
earlier in the week. Um,
My first thought was instead of castrating a bull, like is he literally going to burn down the stadium and
he's probably thought about it a few times.
flick a few cigarettes out into the crowd?
Well, I mean, State. He beat. I mean, he beat Majors. I think one time at UT, but most of the time, I mean, that SEC championship game where we got out alive. I mean, T did his best to try to lose that game. If anybody
Yeah,
remembers, he really did. He really did.
yeah,
Um, but anywho, I kind of look for Jabari Small to have a breakout game. I look for Jalen Hyatt to have a breakout game. Tyler Barron needs to step it up. I mean, last week we had 2 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. Gave up 32 yards rushing. Pitt had 5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss. Gave up 209 yards.
now, who was the team that Pitt played?
UMass.
Shit. They're a basketball school.
Well, they were. Yeah,
Or, yeah, they were.
they were.
And,
The coach, coach when the Teflon coach left to go to the NBA. But yeah, they're pretty. I'd say the teams themselves are pretty comparable. I
yeah,
think a lot of Pitt's performance can be tied down just to a more veteran offense that was more settled. That they knew each other. They knew all the moving. They knew all the moving parts. I mean, people who kind of panicking about last week as far as Coach Heupel's offense. I mean, if you look at it statistically, it's not an aberration, or at least not much of one.
Yeah,
He was like four. I don't have that note, but it was like 536 yards total offense he averaged his last year at Central Florida. We were at 471.
Yeah.
If Joe had been more on it with his passing, we easily would have been over 500, maybe even 600.
Oh yeah.
Total offense.
Hell yeah! On some of those deep balls he threw, they just overthrew dudes.
Yeah. And the big statistic for me, we ran 86 plays last week. 86. We did not have a game last year where we went above the high 60s.
I just saw Mitch is on here.
68. Whoa!
Hey boys,
friend.
Somebody is taking a break from cleaning out their old domicile, and he decided to join us.
Pick up a
You lazy bastard, get back to work.
Yeah. This is our Godfather.
I'm actually headed back over there now, but I wanted to call you boys and
Jay Mitchell all day, and he is joining us from his.
Howdy, folks. I'm just dropping by very briefly to give you guys the news. I just got it across my phone. Kirby Smart has decided to go with Stetson Bennett as a starting quarterback today.
Wow.
They're gonna. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
Oh, so that's great.
You boys do whatever you want to with that. I will see you in the funny papers. All right.
Oh, we've already talked about it. You missed it.
You talked about that already?
Oh, we were talking about the game, yeah, about JT being out.
Yeah, he's out. I mean, why you've been running all this practice week with Carson Beck with the ones, and it only makes sense to start Baggins, you know? Okay, I gotta go, boys. I gotta get back to the house. We'll talk soon.
All right, man.
Peace out.
Good on you. Have a good weekend. Well, thanks for that update, Mitch.
The mighty Stetson Bennett.
The mighty step in Baggins.
Yeah.
I still think they'll be okay. Honestly. I don't see it.
UAB.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, Kirby, there is a danger of Kirby being out coached. Slight. There's more. So like I said, I think UAB will be annoying for a couple of quarters, and then the dogs try to eat, you know.
Yeah. What was the line on that game?
I do not know. I can look at it real quick and see. Just give me 1 second. Oh, UGA, UAB, point spread. 24.5. 24.
Ooh.
I'm surprised. I think that I thought it'd be
I would take the Blazers to cover.
Yeah, like I said, athletically, there's no way they should be able to hang with Georgia. Coaching wise, different story.
Yeah,
Bill Clark's a good coach. We'll see. We'll see what he.
20. That's a lot of points, dude.
Well,
I mean,
Bill Clark is the same kind of coach in that Watson Brown kind of mold.
Yeah,
he throws some wrenches at you, man, and you got to be ready for anything because he'll throw the kitchen.
When's the last time Stetson Bennett threw a football? Like our fearless leader said.
What was his last game? The Alabama game last year. Then they put in JT.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
but like our fearless leader said, they've been running the other kid with the first string, so it's going to take him a little time to warm up out there.
As Louis Grizzard would say, it was a hoax. A hoax. So it's that will still be a very interesting game to watch. I'm assuming it'll probably be the 12 o'clock game on the SEC network.
Yeah.
We actually have a friend. I have a friend who's Robin Richards who's going to be attending that game. So we may be able to get a live report from him, just seeing how good and or bad it is. We'll have to figure that out at some point. But we're about 20 minutes in. We only plan to go 30, so we're a little, for once we're a little under time. But I'm going to go ahead and do my score prediction on this. I'm going to say that we come out on this one 38-31. I say we win it in the fourth quarter on a touchdown. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be tense. I think I'm going to be seriously pissed off at the end of the first quarter. But that's
it's going to be ugly.
It's going to be ugly. Yeah.
I was thinking more along the lines of a same kind of deal. I think we'll pull it out at the end, like a good man should.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a right around 28-23.
Yeah. Okay.
Go Vols.
A little bit more of a defensive struggle. I can see that. I gotta have some faith that Milton's passing game ability to throw the ball accurately is going to be.
As this season goes along, I think we're going to see some good things from the kid. We're not going to win the SEC or anything, but I think.
That's what you say.
I think we're gonna see this Milton kid. Round.
I mean, I think the more game reps that offense is going to get, it's the better it's going to get. The defense was what just really, really pleasingly surprised me last week that they actually.
Oh, I loved the play from our secondary. Was great.
Yeah. The thing that I saw was a mean streak. Was some aggression out there. They're getting in there. They're not, they are actually hitting people with a purpose.
Yeah.
And that's something that has been missing. I mean, since the days of John the Chief Chavis.
Strike first, strike hard.
No mercy.
No mercy.
Mercy is for the weak. We do not twain to be merciful here.
So let's get to a few other games. Who's Bama got? Who's going to that?
Bama's got Mercer.
Shit.
Bama's got Mercer. That's going to be a mercy rule. The game that I'm kind of interested in is LSU against McNeese State. Do you know who the starting quarterback for McNeese State is?
Oh no, who is it?
Coach O's son. So we'll see how that happens. We'll see how that ends up. I mean, if they don't hang 70 on McNeese State, he's in trouble, man. That's just they've got to do that. Texas and Arkansas is going to be an interesting game. I think we all went with Texas on that. Missouri, I'm looking at Missouri and Kentucky.
Yeah,
I think Missouri's going to beat them. I really and truly do.
I like Missouri.
I mean, Will Levis might be the second coming of Tim Couch, but it's Kentucky. They find a way to fuck it up. Okay, it's Kentucky. I mean, I'm sorry, Blue Misters, but you guys.
Well, Mizzou's looking. I would say overall just a better team.
Well, I don't know about that. Eli Drinkwitz. Eli Drinkwitz is a good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of in that. I'm trying to think who. I'm so old. Missouri's coach was before him, Gary.
Oh shit. I can see that guy's face. Damn it, Dren. We know where our loyalties lie. We don't.
Yeah, no, it's just I do all this research, and I mean I do my homework. I really do. I promise you, 30 more rows. Hold on.
Well,
Barry
why
Odom.
you looking?
Barry Odom, Gary Pinkel. He's kind of in that Barry Odom, Gary Pinkel mode. I mean, and Missouri for that has been that team for years. Like, how the hell did they win
Yeah,
the East again? So they're sneaky good.
yeah.
Even though they came into Knoxville last year and we handled them, I think pretty convincingly. You could sit there and watch that there was some genius
Well,
that worked there.
to me, when I watch them
They were
play,
close.
it's like they still don't know how to handle an SEC football team.
Yeah.
How to get out there and grind games out and win games that way.
Yeah. Well, they also have the current coolest name in college football as the star of their defense, a guy named Blaze Aldridge. Had 3.5 sacks. 3.5 sacks and 10 total tackles against Central Michigan.
Hey, I just want to say hi to our one viewer that's watching us.
Hey, man.
We love you, baby.
Yeah. Hey, only takes one. Spread the word.
That's true.
Spread the word.
All right. Find me some spreads and I'll make some picks.
Find you some spreads and we'll make some picks. Hold on. I don't know. I technically Brandon is the producer of this bizatch. So I can't do chirons. It's probably for the best anyway. Because I tend to get OCD about stuff like that. So week.
Well,
2.
we just can't afford to try to start up a stream and a bunch of pornographic images suddenly fly up.
Yeah. Hey. My boss might be watching this. Easy.
I mean, that would never happen ever in the thing. I'm just pulling.
Let's see. Is this week 2 or week 3? Let's see. Yeah, no. Okay. We've already got Pitt against Tennessee.
Vols by about 5 is what I'm
minus 3. Arkansas, Texas to Arkansas. It's in Fayetteville. They got spread Texas 6.5.
You know what? Much love to Dargan Ware. I think the Suwee Pigs got this one.
Okay.
I don't think Texas is going to cover that.
Oh, Texas is going to cover. Okay. Here's one that we did not cover on the Georgia show. A&M against Colorado. A&M is a 16.5 point favorite. I believe this game is in Boulder.
I got A&M, yeah, all day.
I would tend to agree with that.
If they're the Texas from last year, they'll blow those.
Last year. Well, I mean, everybody's talking about Ole Miss and all this other stuff. A&M. I'm sorry. A&M for me is what I'm absolutely looking at. Let's see.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, you don't fuck with Jimbo Fisher, dude.
No.
It'll take you to town.
I mean, it's going to be intense and it's going to be a fight, but I think in the end, they're going to pull it out. Colorado is at A&M. Colorado is in College Station, so.
Oh yeah.
That's I would take that. Sporting News has it 17.5. I would take that.
Yeah.
A game that I picked that I think is going to be really interesting. Everybody's talking about how NC State is going to be the team to push the Clemson in the SEC. I can't remember who they played last week. South Florida. They played South Florida. I only brought notes I brought down here for the Pitt game today, but I've like got 7 pages of notes that I took. I picked the Bulldoggies in this one. This was at Starkville. NC State's a 2.5-point favorite. Mississippi State did barely get out alive against La Tech, but Louisiana Tech is statistically last year was a good bottom of the mid-range team.
I
They were like
would refer to them as sneaky good as well.
They were high 70s statistically. So they were a little, they're in the bottom 50th percentile, but barely. But South Florida was bottom of the barrel. They have not been good since Jim Leavitt was there.
Damn, too.
But,
so
the
North Carolina State
was I think marked. The one thing that bothered me was that now I didn't see the game, so there may be may have been some hurries involved, may have been some other things that I just did not see and was able to analyze. But NC State did not have one sack during that game, so that's it. That gives me really zero pass rush, just based on looking at the statistics. And if you can't get a pass rush on Mississippi State, they are going to carve you up. They're going to go 5 wide. They're going to go 5 wide the entire game, 3-step drop, boom. And this one's going to be a track meet, but I think State's going to win it.
I like State.
Yeah, I like Mississippi State. Missouri and Kentucky. They've got Missouri at Kentucky. They've got Kentucky -4.5. I still think Missouri's going to win that game. And then let's all say a prayer for the Commodores. They're heading to Fort Collins to play the Colorado State Rams.
Oh shit!
I mean, I have to ask this question: how bad does Colorado State have to be only be a 6.5-point favorite at home against friggin' Vanderbilt?
They must be pretty bad because
I have love for Vanderbilt. Okay, I mean, football wise, can't stand them, but I have love for Vanderbilt. Okay, it's kind of funny, but prior to me, all the women in my family, the ones that went to college, went to Vanderbilt. My sister went to Vanderbilt. My mother and 2 aunts went to the Peabody Teachers College, which is now the Peabody School of Education at Vanderbilt. So they're all Vanderbilt people. My grandfather went to University of Tennessee. My father went to law school at the University of Tennessee. So, it was always the men versus the ladies. I mean, I'm technically a UT graduate, UT Chattanooga, but still.
We are in the same boat.
Yeah. Well, I think you and I both were smart enough to realize that we wanted to graduate. We wanted to get out with our degrees. And so I have my master's. Let me clarify. I have my master's from UT Chattanooga. But I think we were both smart enough to realize that we wanted to graduate to actually, make it through college. And if we'd gone to UT, that would not have happened. If I'm up here, as much as I would have enjoyed myself,
I would have had a degree in beer drinking.
Exactly.
Minor in beer pong, maybe.
We'd be going to the library.
I love you. I love you, Wally.
Those of you UT alumni out there know exactly what and those of you who are UT alumni know exactly what I'm talking about.
I am going to take Colorado State in that game because until Vanderbilt proves they can beat somebody, they're just
Clark Lee demoted his offensive coordinator this week, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, we are 34 minutes into this thing. We said we're going to go 30, so we have exceeded our time. It is after 11 o'clock. We need to go get ready to tape our ankles for a 12 o'clock kickoff. So I unless you have anything else to say, Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and sign us off, folks.
Big shout out to Johnny Majors and his family. R.I.P. Coach.
Yeah, we miss
today. Rocking the dreamsicle.
Yeah.
And
And
For all you football fans out there.
with you. We're there with you in spirit. Yeah, showing them
Tennessee people. There's some palm trees. And we love you.
Yep.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Hopefully we will be back to our regular schedule Thursday at 9:30. Everybody have a good and safe weekend, and we'll catch you on the flip side, and go Vols.
Go Vols.